family, BlaXit family, BlaXit family. I hope you're well. I hope you're able to see me, see this live. I hope you're well. Can you hear me if anyone's here? If you're just joining, let me know. Join the chat. Let me say hello to you. I apologize. Oops. Let me just mute this a bit. I apologize about last week. Thursday, I tried to make it. As you know, there was an issue. Unfortunately, there was a passing in my African family. So, welcome to BlaXit. If you're new to BlaXit, oh dear, on something. I just want to see the comments. Hang on. If you can see or hear me, could you give me a comment so I can see, please? I'm just trying to see. This is the right one. The message is visible. Okay. Amari Soyinka. Am I saying your name right? Amaru, that's a beautiful name. And I am the founder of BlaXit and Rudwan Isa. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much. Sarah Reed says yes also. So anyway, thank you for joining. Greetings, 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 BlaXit family. First, please accept my apologies for last week. Unfortunately, there was a passing in my family, my adopted family here in the Gambia. Just reading your comments. And yeah, it was really sudden and really sad. So please accept my apologies for not being on time or available at all, actually, for neither Thursday or Friday's live. Yeah, Agboyo, hello, watching from Ghana. Akwaba. Akwaba. So Sandra Watson. Sandra said, yes, we can hear you. Thank you ever so much, and thank you for joining. If you're new to BlaXit and you're watching from Trinidad and Tobago, do you know, I've had so many family members go to Trinidad and Tobago, and they love it. I love Trinidadian food, by the way. Absolutely love it. And give me a roti any day. Give me a roti, give me a roti. Anyway, yeah, Akwaba. So anyway, welcome to BlaXit. BlaXit is all about your repatriation, relocation back to the motherland. Okay, so this is a live broadcast from the beautiful Gambia, which is where I repatriated to. As you can tell by my accent, I wasn't born here. I was actually born in the UK, had enough of that place. And so there's time to go back to, you know, our roots, time to go back to the motherland, fatherland, the place where our ancestors came from. And that was because I knew how beautiful it was, and I knew what a beautiful life you have here. And it's, you know, there's no competition, to be honest with you. So, you know, I set up this channel along with other family members and to try and share information about the process of repatriation. Also to share information about investment and other opportunities here in Africa. Some specifically are obviously inclined to Gambia because this is where I live. And for example, at the moment, there's a tower, well, it's becoming a city actually. Gunjur is a very fast developing area here in the Gambia. So we've been doing a lot of programs over the last 2-3 years, all about developments in Gunjur and encouraging you to invest in Gunjur. And in saying that, I have just recently been informed of 2 really viable, excellent pieces of land, which I did put one on the show, which was, I think, 106 by 45 meters, which is a fantastic location, fantastic buy. If you have emailed me about it, Please bear with me for 1 minute because my phone that has the email locked in on it and the password and everything else is actually not working. So just bear with me. I will get back to you. I'm trying to fix it, but it's not charging. So I'm having an issue. And if you've known me through BlaXit, you're a BlaXit veteran, you know that I'm always having these issues with phones. So let's have a look at your comments. Okay, Radwan Isa, sorry to hear that. Thank you. And Medasi. And of course, a veteran, yeah. I am Italis one, who's been with us since day one of BlaXit coming to force. So if you've been with BlaXit for a while, I want to say thank you for supporting. Thank you for always being there with us through thick and through thin. And also to all new subscribers, people who have joined us, people who knew me from before, in fact, the interview with Rhoda Maya. A lot of people knew my story about fighting racism whilst in England, also fighting for reparations, and of course our right for repatriation, which should be financially enabled, in my view. So Elizabeth Goodwin, hello sister. I travelled from London last year to Gambia to meet you, but we were unable to meet. Condolences to your family. I'm so sorry, Elizabeth, that I wasn't able to meet with you. Last year was a real sort of, I would say, an interesting year for me because I had a lot of projects on, and I also was like getting used to, if you like, single life, you know, not being married anymore and doing other things. So with regards to business and setting up and lots of changes. So I wasn't as available as I usually am. So I'm sorry that I didn't get to meet you. But, you know, I send you my love. Yeah, and I apologize that I wasn't able to spend time with you. And it's hard. You know, I know that they say that this whole cloning thing, but I wonder if it's actually, you know, if it's got its benefits that I could clone myself a couple of times so that, you know, there could be more of me. But I'm sure that when they do the cloning, they're not really doing it for the benefit of people like me. So, yeah, not that I want to be cloned, by the way. Let me just make that clear. It was a joke, okay? In case anyone gets any ideas out there in, you know, the whole land of the brotherhood. So no, I don't want to be cloned. So anyway, how are you? Tell me what's going on in your life, in your world. I want to hear. Tell me what's. But I would like to know. I would like to know what's going on in your life. So tell me some comments before we today's live session. And I think it's important to reflect on the past and also some great things that's happening now. Africa, there's some wonderful things happening. So I do want to embrace those excellent developments that are happening. And I want to know what's going in your end of the world. I have heard, you know, some incidents that have happened. I heard about a young man who was unfortunately, what do they call it? Sorry, unalived. I also was in court, at the High Court, in Shakina's case, was there. So the police gave evidence. So I'll give you an update with regard to that as well. There is also some great developments happening here in the Gambia that I want to talk about as well. And of course, you know, I always have my hard-hitting subjects that I always touch on. So please keep the comments coming. If you don't have anything that you'd like me to talk about or to discuss, come forward. I would like to talk about one of the things that I thought was brilliant by Traore. I hope I'm saying his name right, President Traore, who has decided not to take a president or perks, but stay on his salary as a soldier, reduced by 20%. The salaries of those other people in power to reduce amount of spending that was, you know, used that was unnecessary. And I thought that was a really good thing. And I really like that. So I like a lot of things across Africa. There's a lot of push, if you like, and a lot of changes going on, even in our neighboring country of Senegal. There's a lot of talk, a lot of change in attitudes, and I'm not sure if you are seeing it, but Africa is an option for us now. And this is something that I want to talk about. Yeah, Africa is now becoming an option. Have now traveled to Africa. Africa, before, it was like when people were going on a holiday, Africa wasn't a destination of choice. However, it is now. So what's changed? What's changed is that our eyes have been opened. Our eyes have been opened, and I think part of that eye-opening experience is because of social media. People like myself, Oda Maya, of course, Dynasty Mayor. You know, so many of us live there in the UK or in America. You don't have to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the best place to be. Like I was explaining to you before, my mom was in Ghana, and my daughter was in South Africa. I was in Gambia. Now, if you would have asked me many, many years ago, if that probably would have been the case. For me to be here, yes, because I kind of made a decision to be in Africa for a long time. But for the younger generation, and I'm hearing about land taken from Africa, African Americans in Ghana, and some dying. Do you know anything about this? Now, I have some Ghanaian friends. And I also communicate with other Ghanaian vloggers, and I will make more inquiries. Tell me what you know. The cases that I heard about aren't recent, to be fair. It was 3 ladies, the case that I heard about, and that was like many years ago, and that was an argument, and that was over land, and some ladies were unalived. It was 3 senior ladies, but that was about, I think, 5 years ago. Was it 4 years ago? So I haven't heard about anything being done recently. And so with regards to the land, if the land is bought in the correct way, I don't know why they would be dispossessed of it. So I would like to find out more. So please share some information so that I can do it, because at the end of the day, you know, we have to have facts. We can't speculate. Yeah, the case with the 3 ladies, that was covered in the news, but that was, like I said, 5 years ago, and that situation was quite unique, and I didn't have all of the details, only what was reported. And as you know, people can report you know, basically what they like these days. You know, fact checkers as well is not quite fact checkers. It's almost like a screening process to them to give you information that they want you to believe, regardless of whether it's the truth or not, and of their truth also. So, you know, things are open to debate, let's say that. Yes, we are. Rosetta Jane says, hi, Juliet, condolences to you and the family. Thank you so much. I would like, please, family, if you wouldn't mind, if you're new to the channel, you've just tuned in, welcome to BlaXit. BlaXit is all about your relocation, repatriation, back to Africa. BlaXit is all about your exit from the West back to the best, or your exit from the worst back to the best, and about your journey to make changes in your life and have choices in your life. So if you're new, just to give you a story in a very, very brief synopsis, welcome to BlaXit. I did an interview when I first came to the Gambia to live, which was done by Woda Maya, and Woda Maya is a prolific vlogger influencer, and he did an interview where I said that England is a dump and Africa is paradise. And I still stand by that sentiment because of the kind of quality of life and health and happiness and you know, just basically being inspired. I want to say a shout out to all of the BlaXit team and send my love out to you all, of course. Thank you for your support here behind the scenes. I would like to greetings from New Africa is becoming an option, and things happen everywhere. This is the thing. I think one of the problems that we have is that we put a magnifying glass on Africa, and this is done intentionally. So we don't look at what's happening in our own backyards, depending on where we are, but we kind of put a magnifying glass on Africa, and I think it's a little bit unfair, because it's not that we're putting the same magnifying glass on America or Europe, because if we did, I think far less people would try and go the back way to leave Africa, thinking that, you know, the streets are paved with gold. They would know the reality of the situation. And in these countries, especially now when, sorry about that, when the financial pinch is affecting salutations and keep sharing, sister. Thank you. And that's Kufunia Ife. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also ZQQ. I'm hoping to move to Nigeria. It's beautiful there. Oh yeah, I've heard. In fact, you know, one of the good things about African locations is that about different places, and KD has he has sold Africa to me. I'm sorry, he has sold Nigeria to me, and Port Harcourt, which is the area that he hails from in the River State. So I also want to go to Abuja and also Lagos. I have Izu at the moment, and he used to show me some beautiful live videos. He also touched base with KD whilst he was there. So that's really good that, you know, we're all making that connection, we're all making that link. So KD did tell me that Nigeria is absolutely beautiful, and he showed me so much beautiful footage, and he showed me so many different places. He'd made a tour of about, I think, 32 of the 36 states, and he did show me some footage and some images of different places. And he did show me quite extensively Port Harcourt. So not very much of Abuja, but I would like to see more. And I did see a small amount of Lagos when he was actually coming to the Gambia. So he was doing some shopping for me in Lagos. So I did see a little bit of Lagos, but not very much. So I am really excited about Nigeria. I think that Nigeria is going to have a thriving economy in the future. I think that it's a future watch location, and I think once things are balanced, and I think there needs to be a balance in every country with regard to, don't really want to get involved in politics, but you do understand what I mean with regards to the distribution of wealth. So, okay. Kufunia Ife said, real talk, people are no death or murders in the West. Amazing how folks think. Single day there's murders in England. Every single day. You know, like I was telling you last time, out what it's really like. If you're living in Chicago, tell people what it's really like. You know, and we've also got to, you know, be responsible also for what's going on in our communities, because we all contribute to those communities that we live in. Yeah, and there is so much murder and debauchery that goes on in these countries. Yeah, so, you know, so many underground oh, I'm sorry about that that are, you know, made from debauchery and absolute heinous and you know reckless behavior. ZQ said, I've been to all those places and it's fabulous. People sleep on Nigeria, it's the place to be. I do agree with you, and I cannot wait to go. I cannot wait to go, you know. I am really keen to go. There's so many places that I want to see. There's so many things that I want to do. And also invest in Nigeria. You know, I've been sent some advertisements with regard to land from someone who was Katie's friend, who was featured on here, who did the Chow Festival. He sent me some recent adverts of some landed projects there, and there was some other ones that we were working on in the past. But unfortunately, you know, the way some events transpired, I wasn't able to complete on that project. We did start, but it hasn't been completed. So I'm waiting for more information. Hello, Akil Hashim. And Kufunia, if I said, yeah, For real, sister. And I think also there's another thing, and I've got to talk about it, right? Is that there sometimes seems to be a prejudice between different African nations as well. Yeah, in like what people say about, oh, this person's a Nigerian, and then they'll roll out a stereotype, or this person's a Ghanaian, and then they'll roll out a stereotype, or this person's a Gambian, and they'll roll out a stereotype, or this person's a Sierra Leonean. And we have to stop this. We have enough interference, and we have enough bad PR from those outside of our race. Okay, outside of our culture, outside of our people. You know, we have enough in the Western media to destroy our reputation and to defame us. And as you know, that's the first tool that they use, is defamation. That's the first tool that they use, is to destroy the reputation. If you look at what's going on in the world at the moment, look at what's going on in the world at the moment, and you'll see how propaganda is used. And the same way that it was used, in World War II, the same way it's used even now to try and, paint over the cracks of what was done to us and our ancestors and what is continued to be done to us. And the continual things that happen. I was reading a speech by P.W. Botha in 1985. I don't know if you're familiar with that speech. I'll try and publish it on the community page, actually. I'll try and publish it on the community page. I think that people should read it, because although it's out of date, the methods, or if you like, the modus operandi is still in place. And if you look at it, you will realize what happened recently with everybody in the world all thrown into panic, over the vid, all right? Everybody knows, what was really behind that. And so when you go back to that speech, you're going to realize, oh my goodness. And then in that speech, he talks about the fact that it was the British, the Germans, and the Americans that were also supporting and behind apartheid. And I'm not going to use the word he used, right? But we outrightly don't like them, and we make it obvious. The others just pretend, okay? And so we want what's for our people. We want what's going to benefit our people. And, this is, clearly stated in the speech. And he's saying that everyone else is faking, but we keep it obvious. And one of the things that, we did was, a very slow poison effect on the community. We put, stuff in their drinks. We put stuff, in the pesticides, in the fertilizer. Very obvious. And it's in the speech, And so there's no hiding from it. There's absolutely no hiding from it. And the fact of the matter is, that's why I say grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Do you understand? Because when you're in the West, you're at your beck and call. The water that you drink is supplied by them. You understand? The food that you drink is supplied by them. Yeah? Okay. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just going to read some of your comments. I was in Gambia in March 2024, and I love it. I also went to the trade show in Gambia. Amazing. I'm coming again, and I plan to visit other African countries. Africa is the future now. Totally. And I love the trade fair. In fact, I didn't actually get to go this year. Boo-hoo. I didn't actually get to go this year, but my son and my brother went, and they had a lovely time. They did bring me back some gifts, and I love to buy crystals there. As everybody knows, I love my crystals. And so that was important to me, so I could get some crystals. And because I love African crystals. I think they're amazing. I think, things of the earth are amazing. I think it should be part of our healing experience. Is being connected to the earth. I think it's very important that we connect to nature. And like I was saying to you, I think it's important. I've been going and having, as many beach weekends as I can, because rainy season's going to be here in probably about a month or 2 months. And so it's about enjoying nature and getting out in nature. And I do love rainy season, I confess. I do love the wet and the rain, and it's probably because I was accustomed to it by living in England, where it's very wet, damp, and grey. So I really do, but definitely visit African countries. I always say that Africa is like a beautiful mansion with many rooms, 54 many beautiful rooms, and go and visit them all. Yeah, if you can. If you can't, at least try and visit one. Put it on your bucket list. But you have to come to Africa. It is just amazing. I am still amazed at how beautiful and wonderful Africa is. Every day I am still amazed. And I think that many of us are fooled because of the impression that we've been sold of Africa. They sold us these, I'm sorry to say, but, starving children in dirty clothes, okay? That is not Africa. Wrong with that. But that is not the Africa that we live in on an everyday basis. Africa is abundant. And, the thing is, they made us get attached to this poverty mindset. And this is a facade, okay? This is a facade. It really is. And we do not need to adhere to it. And it's time for us to, we are divine beings, and we have to come into our divinity. Too long, these people have paraded themselves as superior. And it's an absolute facade. It's completely untrue. And we cannot and we must not ever allow that to permeate into future generations. We have a responsibility. We do have a responsibility to do that. And, today I was talking about the options opening about Africa, is that Africa is now an option. People are flying to Africa, flying from the Caribbean. People are flying from America, from the UK. Africa is now an option as a holiday destination, as a go-to and live destination, whether it's Rwanda, whether it's South Africa, whether it's Kenya, whether it's Nairobi, whether it's Kilili, it's an option. Whether it's Gambia, it's an option. If it's Ghana, it's an option. We have this option now, and we should take it as quickly as possible, because recently they had the OIC conference here. And trust me, everyone, including the Middle East, is looking very closely at Africa. China is looking very closely at Africa. And when I say looking, I mean they've invested and looking to expand. So we really do have to, come and join hands with our brothers and sisters here on the continent. We really do. It's important. I mean, the time is now. The time really, really, really is now. I'm not joking with you all. Yeah, let me just read some more of your comments. I'm really sorry, I get excited, when I talk about Africa. It's such a life-changing experience. It really is. It is such a heart. I don't know. It's like you fall in love. I don't know if you've ever been in love before, because sometimes people say they're in love, but they're not in love. They're infatuated. Yeah, but it's like true love. When you wake up and it's the first thing that you think about, and you think about it all day. Yeah, it's that kind of feeling. It's like, even if something goes wrong, you still get back on track, because it's a real heartfelt connection. It's so deep. It's really, really entrenched in your soul. It's like a feeling that you have that you cannot shake, Yeah, it's like, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. And maybe I am obsessed, but I love Africa. Yeah, and it's a healthy obsession, that's for sure. Okay, Ife says, France needs to get out of Africa. Oh, without a doubt. This is long overdue. get out of Africa and needs to refund Haiti, real talk. Now let's discuss this, okay? Because I said to you, tell me what you want to talk about, you know, tell me what you want to talk about. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. Yeah? Us in the diaspora, 1.5 billion of us need to raise, you know, do what we can, use our voice, use our financial powers, because we have more financial powers over France. Anything, any products of theirs, it's time for us to impact their economy. Okay, it's time for us to join hands with our brothers on the continent and say that enough is enough. France, get out. Yeah, no more colonization. It's time to stop this colonization and these false debts that you have now decided to pin. The suffer needs to go. There should be no colonial debts paid to France. What for? What for? We owe you nothing. You owe us everything. They've reversed everything. They've completely, our economy is paying them. Like, oh, come on. It's time just to say no. F off. F off. F off France. Do you understand? F off France. Get out of Africa and leave us alone. Marcus Garvey just give us 50 years unmolested. Because that's what they're doing. They are molesting Africa. They are robbing us. They are interfering with us without our consent. Okay? Without our consent. This has been happening for centuries and it needs to end right now. Okay? And yes, they do need to refund. This is one of the topics that I was saying, that Africa needs to become an option and we need to take back our stuff. It's high time. It's too late. You know, we have to have a voice. I'm sure they're putting something in the water or something has to be put somewhere because we have become so passive. You know, they did this. They, you know, increased the fluoride when they wanted to control the people during, especially those terrible suffering camps. That our people, because of course there are black Jews, suffered in. Okay? They suffered in those concentration camps. They don't want to talk to you about the black victims of the war. They don't want to talk to you about the black Jews. No. But they were there and they suffered too. Okay? But they were putting stuff in the water, fluoride in the water, to make the people passive. And I'm wondering if this is something that is still ongoing because, you know, how can us as a people that have been through what we've been through, our ancestors have been through what they've been through, and we seem to be sitting down, you know, and drinking the Kool-Aid. Like we're afraid. They weren't afraid to come to us. They weren't afraid to come to us. But you know, they did so much psychological, they've done so much psychological programming and conditioning. You know, and breadcrumbing and ghosting and, you know, you go for reparations and it's like they ghosted us. Literally, I remember that it was like they didn't even bother to respond. And this is so narcissistic, but this is what they are. They're demonic. Those actions are demonic actions. And we have to know who we're dealing with, to be honest with you, and be fearless. Because they bank on us being in fear. And what they do is they put those seeds of fear from school. And they use every institution available to them to keep enforcing that fear. And what they do is, as soon as it gets to one level, then they increase it in another area. It gets to another area, and then, for example, finances, and then they'll increase it in that area. So they'll make you become financially insecure or unstable, especially if you rely on a government system. So they'll introduce changes, so it desettles you, okay? And they'll give you just enough to get by psychologically, and they've always done it. Always done it. Their education system has to be seen as superior when their education system comes from us. How does that work? You didn't even create education. How can you say that your philosophers and your people are the most educated when you got it from us? We have to take back our stuff. We have to start sharing that knowledge and information so that our children have correct information and knowledge. Because Africa is now becoming the option, but we also have to make sure that that information is not lost. The same way that they keep their historic information, they keep their history, they keep, and they put theirs first. No, we got to put ours first, and that is our option, because education starts in the home. Okay, education starts in the home. Yeah, but France needs to get out of Africa by any means necessary. By any means and every means necessary. It's high time for us as, 1.5 billion diasporans. Yeah, we come from the legacy of the enslavement of our ancestors. It's time to rise up. It's time to wake up and shake up and smell the coffee. They've given us so many distractions with crap and rubbish and, doing everything to try and destroy the family, sending in Jezebel garden hose, to distract the men and break the family. Okay, and the same with women too. They're doing everything possible and then confusing the men about their masculinity and wanting to turn them into women and trying to turn us women and making us more masculine. They're doing everything to destroy the family, and that is a foundation. Even if you don't have that ordinary family because your relationship breakup, doesn't mean you can't go on and have a blended family, or it doesn't mean that you can't go on to go and have a new family, as long as you still have that love and that connection. But they're trying to now make, lewd and reckless and disgusting practices commonplace. They're trying to desensitize. There's the nastiness. The nastiness. They're trying to make it commonplace and confuse us, but we should not stand for it. Okay? That's one of the things that I like about being in Africa. You know what a man is, you know what a woman is, okay? There's no confusion there. There's no confusion there. And, when they outlaw certain things and certain practices, right, which are social mores, then, more power to them, because it's about time that we took control of our destiny. It's about time that, we became self-determined. It's about time that we took control. Africa is our mother and fatherland. Okay, it is the home of divinity. It's the home of our divine beings. Okay, it is the home for us, and we are divine beings. And don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not. And you are loved. The BlaXit is a love vibration, frequency, high frequency channel. And don't let anyone tell you that you're not. Okay? What Toure was talking, sorry, I keep saying this. What President Toure was saying and what he's done is a bold step, even with regard to grow what you eat and eat what you grow. He knows what he's doing because he knows what they've done. He's been trained, he understands it. And, he has made a sacrifice, what he's doing, but he's doing it for us. And all those African countries that aren't supporting those African countries, you need to take off your colonial brainwash mindset and start to support those that want the free independence. Because you know what? Too often we go and follow money. Okay? We let people fool us for money and inducements, and it all turns out to be trickery. And they make you give up your good Africa, your good land for inducements, fake money and trickery, the same way that they did with the mining rights. And told you, oh, you're going to get like 0.3%. But they're not telling you that, what are they giving you this 1 million? They're taking home, 2 billion. Okay? We have to stop falling for the fakery and inducements. We have to stop falling for, the Jezebel spirits. We have to stop falling for it. Okay. Sorry, I missed some of your comments. Let me just catch up. I'm really sorry. They also say he who controls the printed page controls the thinking of the age. Yes, yes. One of the things that I noted, like, of course, being in the court, and I was going to tell you like a little bit about Shakina's case as well. Was that I was listening and I thought, where in Africa, everyone's speaking in English. So what does that mean? They still have dominance and control. They still have dominion. And, you know, once they make your laws, they make your rules, they have dominion. And it's something that I don't know how, and I don't know when, but we need to take back dominion and control of our own rule, of our own law and our own governance and our own political systems, because those of Europe does not match what goes on in Africa. It's just not the right system, if you ask me. It does not suit Africa. It is not built for purpose for Africa. It is not suitable for purpose for Africa. Okay? Oh, I'd like to thank whoever's just given me this. I'm really sorry, Fiona Jallo. How are you, my darling? Hello, Simmer and Savor. Simmer and Savor, that sounds so tasty. Hello, Simmer and Savor says, can you tell me, can I take a visa to France? Need a little more information, please. I don't understand exactly what you're saying. Kufinia Ife says that the trade show had Africans from all over the continent of Africa, merchants, healers, natural foods, music, and so much to see. I was so excited. Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying to you, especially the food. Oh my goodness. I eat my way through that trade show. I guess you can tell. But I love the fruit baskets, especially the fruits. And I used to like the grill food was great. Yeah. CQQ said yes. And Kunufe Ife says, I stand in love, and it was like love's first kiss. It really is. You fall in love. It's like, yeah. I understand. I know what it's like to fall in love. And I love being in love. I think it's wonderful. It's always lovely until they spoil it. But anyway, or you spoil it, whichever way around it is. Alam MD Abbas said, I see your live from Dubai and I'm loving your channel. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. And thank you from Dubai, Alam. Thank you for watching. That's so lovely. Okay, and Benny Manfrey Maroon is here. Greetings. How are you? And greetings to everybody in the chat from Benny Manfrey Maroon as well. ZQQ said, we're here in the States and we're making headway for reparations on the state level. But the federal government passed a law to penalise the states that pay anything out. And it's getting really... So what do you do? What can you do? What can you do? ZQQ, what can you do? Yeah? What did we do in the past? What did we do in the past? We got together. Yeah? Protest. We march. We boycotted. Yeah, we started to work together. We wanted to educate our own children. We wanted to work together. That's why Edward went and did exactly what he did. Now I've got some chat, sorry, I'm so sorry. Look, kindly ensure you've hit that like button. Thank you so much. Phineas said, for real, they're like vampires and they wake up. They are energy vampires. There's no doubt about it. They are energy vampires, yeah? My people, we are rich, yet the leaders stop us from selling our pennies enough. Trillions each year. Yeah, Kufunia, if I say get up, stand up, we have the resources. Africa has the world's world's resources. Africa feeds the world. Africa feeds the world. If there's a new shift, however, the youth are not taking it either, and it's the truth. When I see the youth on fire, I agree with them. I agree with them, and I support them wholly because something's got to give, something's got to change, something has to change. Yeah, look at what happened with George Floyd. Okay, but is it Carlson? What's his first name? Michael Carlson, the man that was recently strangled to death. Give me his name. I remember is it Carlson? I remember Carlson as a surname, I think. First name slips me. But what I'm trying to say is that they leave it for so long and then they do it again to taunt you, to say, do you really have control? In their communities, no, you don't. So leave. Okay? Leave. You have options. Work together, band together, and leave. Give them their firearms. Give them everything and leave. Okay? Take your money, take your investment and leave. Okay? So to them, I don't want to be here with you anymore. I'm going to Africa. I'm going to be with my own people. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And this is why they're trying to destroy the families and fathers that aren't paying support. They're keeping them in the country, not wanting to. So, fathers, make sure you keep up on that child support so they can't take away your passport. Stop you from leaving. G-Mac, I got to you finally. Thank you, G. Oh, how sweet. Yeah, Kufunya Ife. They would never take all of those anti-nature to Arab nations and Dubai stuff. No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Do you think that they would go and promote the ABCDQ, RSTGQ, RSTVU, alphabet letters, whatever, to those Arab countries and try and impose it? Do you really think so? When they've got their oil deals that they're relying on for their country? And this is the thing, is that, Nigeria has oil. Nigeria, I think, is the 4th largest supplier of oil in the world. But do we use the leverage? And that's the question. Do we use that leverage? Yes, Africa is definitely an option now, okay, for us. But is Africa using the leverage that it has? And can Africa use the leverage that it has? So I'd like to say, I love your channel. Keep shining again. Thank you, Kufunya Ife. G-Mac says, I love my BlaXit family. Oh, BlaXit family, love you too, G-Mac. Thank you so much. I look forward to the day when I'll actually meet you, when you actually come to the Gambia. So I hope that's one day soon. So thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the money. Thank you very much for the donation. And to everybody that's donated to BlaXit, we love you. And I just want to say thank you so much. Also, if I can say, hit that like button for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you on your behalf. Thank you so much. And Kufunya Ife, thank you so much for the donation. That is so lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you both, G-Mac and Kufunya Ife. Oh, hang on, I've just pressed something. Okay, so thank you. Andy Anderson says, I'm watching the Haitians play out here in Seattle. Haiti is something that's very, very close to my heart. In fact, I even seen the day of the Haitian Revolution. So you can imagine, yeah, you're married to a real activist. She even chooses that day to make her union. So anyway, probably why it's not there anymore. But yeah, I'll stick with my activism. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you to G-Mac and thank you to Kufunya. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I think West Africa needs to set up, and repatriate the Haitians. You know what? That is a fantastic idea. I mean, why aren't we? Why aren't we? In fact, this is a thing. We're an army. Our own African army, our own African Defence League, and our own diasporan army Defence League, yeah? that could go in these times, because this is the thing, we have no defense system. And when I say that, I'm not talking about local military. I'm talking, for example, Africa is not one of the countries. Why aren't we securing our own? Why aren't we defending our own? I'm just such a doer of self. And the thing is that it's just making us come together. And I know resources is always, the thing is that we're actually, we're bleeding our resources away because it's being stolen away. When you see what they're doing in West Papua, when you see what they're doing in these other countries, and if you look at, oh my gosh, the genocide that's going on in West Papua, my heart bleeds. Please do join and support the cause to help those people in West Papua, the West Papuans. Go to www.freewestpapua.org, okay? West Papua, okay, .org, WESTPAPUA, Papua.org. And I send out my love to Chief Benny Wenda and his family, and the Wenda family, as always, are. Okay? Haiti kicked their ass out. Haiti took self-control and self-determination and was the first. Sorry about the all of our sisters, supporting that revolution, supporting that revolutionary place. You know who you are out there. Yeah, let's join hands and make a campaign, because what they're doing there is supposed to be there for peace, for peace monitoring, and the things they're doing to women and children and men is terrible. Rather than keeping the peace, it looks like they're taking peace, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. And, there's so many things that are done under guise, even like when, they caught them stealing the gold out of Ghana, okay? So many things are done over guise of these types of organizations. And it's just for us to be watchful and stop being so trusting. We just have to stop being so trusting, okay? And the reason why we're so trusting is because, we think that, we put them in a position almost as a god. And nothing could be further from the truth. The wrong one. Okay. So Andy Anderson says, yeah, he's watching, and his take is that the West African leaders, Uncle Joe and Maga, will refuse them. Exactly. But yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I don't understand why we don't support more in that way, instead of going in and supporting them in their actions to try and police them, which is nonsensical in my view. Elizabeth Goodwin says, have you listened to Dr. Umar Johnson about reparations? Absolutely. I actually interviewed Dr. Umar Johnson. I've actually met Dr. Umar Johnson, and in fact I did I gave my own presentation to the African Union, in fact, and also I think it was the UN. Yeah, I think it was the UN and the African Union in New York. This is going back to 2020, I think, October 2020, and Dr. Umar was there as well. So I actually did it via live broadcast. As much as you think that I'm sitting down, I'm not, fam. I'm not sitting down, okay? There's a lot of things that I'm doing, okay, to push forward the envelope for us. So I did give a presentation via the AU to the UN with regards to repatriation, and also about reparations. And one of the first things that I said, to everybody that was there is, why are you there? You need to leave that place. Okay, we need to be there for strategic reasons only. But we need to leave that place. If we're gonna, stay there, we're gonna die there. Yeah, there's great things that we're getting into office, but we have to use those positions strategically to help us here. That's the thing. We have to create that network. We have to create our own web that gets us here. Like what Harriet Tubman did. We need our own, underground network in which we can support each other to get home. home. It's so important. So important. Okay? So yeah, I have listened to, and I have read his books also. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his actually, as you might have understood. June Edwards, hi sis, doing house calf stuff. Oh yeah, everybody's great. In fact, we celebrated Steph's birthday over the weekend. Yeah, we had a good time. Thank you for asking. Um, Kufanya Ife says Haiti has a lot of resources. That's why the Westerners are there. Absolutely, they are not there if there's nothing to take. Okay, if there's nothing to take, they're not there. You know, so, you know, we should call them gold diggers because that's what they are. They're only there to take what they can get and then discard you. And that's what they do. They just take what they can get. They fool you into giving it to them. They create this whole kind of like, you know, love-like scenario. So they woo you, love bomb you, and then they come and take your resources and then discard you once they've destroyed your country. And that is what they do. They're narcissists, and we must see them for what they are. They have these demonic traits, and it's been done over an option for us. Africa is no longer that you know, unknown frontier. This is what we must celebrate. Africa is no longer that unknown frontier. Yeah. Love to travel with Wave. I love to travel with Wave. I'd love to travel with Wave. Where are we going? Hi, BlaXit. Buffering quite a lot, am I? Oh gosh, you know, they're on me then. I better get off soon then. Okay, you have a great day. Gotta go to work. Okay. White folks will never give us repatriation by choice. Furthermore, we need it, and we are sitting on trillions. The fact of the matter is this. What have white people ever given us? Tell me. That you haven't earned or worked for, or they haven't stolen your blood, your sweat, your tears, and your life for. What have they given you? Yeah? They put you into their schools to brainwash you. Yeah? So that you can work for their institutions and build up their country and pay their taxes. What else do they give you? Let's have a think. That you don't have to pay for. Oh, yeah. They give you discrimination, racism. And you always pay the ultimate price. They give you unfair systems that, you know, lock up our brothers and our sisters into mental institutions based on their parameters, based on their guidelines, based on their systems, based on their perverts who they use as experts like Sigmund Freud. You know, what else do they give us? Let's think. Oh, they gave you the, what do you call it? Right to vote. Voting for the same candidate, just a different color system. It's exactly the same because they run the system and they're all friends behind the scenes. So really they haven't given you anything. So what have they given you? Explain to me, what have they given you? Happy birthday to Seth, hope you had a great time. Thank you. You're dope here in London, plotting my move. Lovely, thank you so much. Not sure about dope, isn't dope drugs? But anyway, Marcus KTB, thank you. I'll take it as a compliment though. I think you mean it in the other way, like in the films. Yeah, moved back home to Uganda. I moved back home to Uganda. Uganda's beautiful. I heard so many wonderful things about Uganda as well. Kofania Ife, so thank you again, my sister. Keep shining more from you. I will surely need to meet you when I return. Oh, you absolutely will. You absolutely will. I'm really sorry if I've been a bit of a mystery to those people that haven't been able to see me. You know, I will be more attainable and more available in the future. Like I said, I just wanted to finish my book. I'm not quite there yet. I don't want to say too much. So Sorry, I'm trying to keep you all in mystery. I don't want to say too much, but it is exciting. But I will want to tell you this, is that Africa is now on the frontier, okay? There are more flights coming to Africa. Okay, there's more holiday destinations in Africa. There are more options to repatriate, to relocate, more affordable housing, more affordable land now. So you can make that move. And believe you, when you come here to live among your brothers and sisters, oh my gosh, it is just life changing. You know, I can only talk from my own experience, and you know, from the experiences of people that I've met and people that, you know, I've helped to repatriate and relocate. And I'm telling you, like, you can't put a price on it, you can't put an experience on it, or really a description, because the feeling is just so overwhelming. You know, the fact that you're here, and even if you face challenges, you're just happy to be here facing them rather than be there. And it's like I said, what's happening now is like it's miraculous, you know. To all my divine masculines and feminines, you know who you are, and chosen ones that are coming back. Yeah, we need to keep leading our people, educating our people in that citizenship, you know, mantra for us to, you know, be welcomed as citizens across the whole of the African continent. Okay, this is something that wasn't even considered as an option. It is, and this is what this program is about, is that it's now considered an option. It's time to imagine to stick their loans up their loans. Let's start being self-sufficient. Yeah, it's time to move forward. Yes, exactly. Okay. Marcus KTB said the diaspora coming home is going to be a catalyst for both themselves and our mainland brothers and sisters. Exactly. So I want to say thank you to GMAC and also Kofunya Ife for the lovely donations that you have made via your Snapchats during today's live. I so appreciate every contribution that you make. Really helps us to make further programs. In fact, in saying that, we have just made some programs regarding our star feature property, which I will be sharing with you. We just had a couple edits to make last night. We were editing till late, and thank you very much. Of course, you know, we do miss our old KD, and he used to help us very much in that department. We always wish him well and send him healing, loving vibrations. Not King said the reason Nigeria does not look like Dubai is because black men are not territorial. You know, I've got one thing to say, is that I actually had the opportunity when I was in the UK of interviewing one of the princes of Dubai at the I think it was the Blue Radisson Hotel near Heathrow. He was there when he left to go, and he actually opened up this huge restaurant, because I said I was hungry. I was amazed, actually. Anyway, there was this huge fleet of cars and everything, and we all went to this restaurant. There was other politicians and other people there. You know who you are. Yeah, we went to the restaurant. He opened up the restaurant because I said I was hungry. I was quite surprised. And you know, he had his education, his entertainment, and so on, and that was the really of our meeting. And so I met with him, this Prince of Dubai, and we talked to person, and we talked about a lot of things, including Africa. And one of the things that he was saying about what they had done and what we think has had impact was the destruction of the lineage in Africa, particularly because if you look at Dubai, he was a prince, so they still maintain their royal families, yeah, and if you like, have them there, as in, i.e., as in power. And this is something that has been a little bit disenfranchised from Africa. If you look at Haile Selassie, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, yeah, Emperor Haile Selassie, yeah, and Empress Selassie. Yeah, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is that, you know, the Queen had to bow to him. Yeah, the Queen had to bow to him. Oh wow, GMAC. Thank you so much, GMAC. Yeah, we need our own one, our own Afro currency, and we need our own Afro passport. China has one currency and one passport, and they stick together. We can do better. Yeah, we need unity. There's no doubt about it. Thank you so much for the super chat sticker. Thank you, GMAC, for your heart. As a kiss. Mwah. Thank you so much. A kiss to you. Yeah, no, I agree. The thing is that, you know, we should have the United Empires of Africa. This is what we need. We need to be together. We do need to unify, and they're doing everything in their power to keep us divided. You know, when they said divide and conquer, you think it's a joke. It's not a joke. This is a philosophy, and it's also a practice that has been executed over centuries and is still in effect today, and is still working on us today. Okay? Still working on us today. The psychology is still working on us today. The problem that we have is that they have fed us so many lies. And the thing is, it's like being in a relationship with somebody, okay? I'll just give you an example. It's like being in a relationship with someone who's constantly lying to you. You don't know what the truth is. You don't know whether to believe them. You know, and the thing is that once you realize that they're a liar, you no longer trust them. You don't want anything to do with them because they're not capable of being honest. They're either pathological, you know, liars or habitual liars. You know, but wherever it is, that person is deceiving you. They're a Decepticon. And this is what these people are. They're Decepticons. And they're constantly. I'm really sorry. Okay? Oh, we can make it bigger for you. We can make you a star. We can give you money while they cream off a lot and give you the trinket. Records. Yeah, do you think that they are again? and I think we're getting a hint. So yeah, but Anita Baker spoke about it. She spoke about the way in which they share the ratios of royalties and publishing royalties and repeat fees. She spoke about it. So she spoke about the appearance fees. She spoke about the royalties and mechanical collection fees, you know, and the appearance fees and the publishing royalties and copyright royalties and infringements of copyright. And she spoke about, you know, the abuse and use and, you know, of intellectual property rights. And so, you know, we have to you know, own it. And that's the thing with Afrobeats. And that's why I respect Ghana and Nigeria and all the other countries that are in on the Afrobeat scene, because, you know, we can own it and control it. Okay? We can own it and control it and not allow them to dominate it, because they're never going to be us. Okay? They have their classical music and we should start impinging on their music and start doing it better than them. Okay? Richard Copeland said it was all started by the Dutch but perfected by the British. And the Portuguese, don't forget the Portuguese as well, okay? Not King said the FBA EDOS are a push to divide and conquer. Do you know what? We have fragmentation. I'm not going to pretend that we don't have fragmentation. We have all operating in silos. The minute you start to try and bring your people up, they have someone come in and infiltrate. And they infiltrate at a high level. This is like no joke. They have people that are employed specifically to infiltrate. People were paid to defame me. People were paid to go online and to destroy me. And when we challenged YouTube about it, which we did, you know, I was wholly disappointed in YouTube's reaction. I said, well, YouTube, this isn't true. This is defamation. This is a lie. Show me where this is any way, shape or fact. This is speculation, and they allowed them to get away with it under the point that it was entertainment. So it's funny to destroy someone's reputation and they call it entertainment. You know, but this is our own black people destroying our own black people. Do you understand? Own black people, because if you, for example, those same people that said, oh, this and that about Julia, also, but when you got your land and you're building on your land now, what are you talking about? But that information, that BS is still there. So they still left their nasty, dirty footprint, you know, which was lying on me, is still left there. And, you know, if you like, you know, these platforms don't want you to remove it, because they want that to stay there, to stain your reputation, so that they can smear you. It's part of the whole smear campaign. And that has been something that has been used, propaganda has been used for eons. Okay, propaganda has been used for eons, because, you know, what tells you about the truth is the test of time. We're now in 2024. That was done in 2020. We're now in 2024, 2021, and you understand. Well, so I'm here. I've helped so many people. You understand? So it just goes to show you that they try and smear you with a lie. And this is what I told you, they're Decepticons. Please believe me. Okay? They will divide, they will conquer, they will pull the rug from underneath our feet. Okay? Not King said pushing. Okay. Benny and Manfrey Maroon. Yeah, they will. So they will create all of these kinds of organizations. Okay? They will. They'll be behind them even. They'll be funding them even. Okay? It's like I put up a post once where Malcolm X said, you know, they'll kill one of us, pay one of us to kill one of us, just so that it looks like it's one of us. You understand the psychology behind that, right? Okay, so definitely they will do anything to convince you of their narrative, yeah, only to find out later that it was part of their plot strategy to give you a false sense of security. Then they pull the rug from under your feet. Decepticon. They're Decepticons. Yeah? They tell you about, sorry, I've got an itch. They tell you about multiculturalism and sell you the dream, right? They sell you the dream. We're all going to live in peace and harmony. We're all going to have this equality. We're all going to be on the same page. So why does racism still exist? Why is there still a disparity between the salaries of black women and white women? Why is it as soon as we get an organization and we want to employ our own people, we're then told that we have unfair employment practices or recruitment practices, when they've been recruiting and having their own and been promoting their own and pushing their own and having every kind of unfair employment practice going for eons and years, having the old boys network, and, you know, a lot of people are employed from within their own families and friend circles. And it still happens. Elizabeth Goodwin said, a few things that they use to divide and conquer are religious ideologies, politics, and they use African leaders as their puppets. Good night, family. Thank you. Yeah? Benny, a long while, they're laughing at you. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one of the things that they used to do was before they elected, in particular African countries, let's just say, certain African governments, they would have to go to England and go to, what's the place called? Not Charlotte House. The place will come back to me, beginning with C anyway. I've been there before. But they would go there to be vetted, to make sure that they meet the operandus, you know, that they can be controlled. Yes, yeah. Is it Charlotte House? It'll come back to me anyway. But that's what they do. Italy says I have to go now. Keep up streaming. Thank you. Not King. Tariq is working against the greater good of black people. Hang on. It's for all, my sister. Keep on veiling. Okay. Well, listen. the fact of the matter is, divide and rule is to conquer is real. But the fact is that we are changing this. We're changing the narrative, okay? We're changing the narrative by making Africa an option. And I want you all to post lovely pictures and images of Africa, encouraging friends and family to travel to Africa. I want you to share my channel. I would like to get over 60,000 subscribers now. I've been stuck on 59,000 for a while, and we all know, you know, why that is. But the only people that can make that change is us. So I want you to help us, yeah, by sharing our content. We've made over 600 videos. You know, and you know, telling other people to subscribe so we can get over 60,000, because I want the channel to grow so that we can, you know, attract more people and share the information about Africa. It's really, really important, okay? The greatest manipulation is observation. Oh, they do. They learn everything about you and use it against you. But are we learning everything about them and using it to our benefit? You know, and the thing is that, you know, we have to use our culture. We have to become our own culture vultures. We have to use our own culture. You know, that's how you defend it, okay? That's how you bring it in yourself. So your children, they're proud to be African. That's what we have to do. We have to change that narrative ourselves. We have to make Africa our option, our #1 option, okay? It's now become an option, but we have to make Africa our #1 option, okay? That's what I wanted to talk about today, was Africa becoming our #1 option, okay? That is what this is the change that we have to make, yeah? We have to love each other more. This is the thing, yeah? The biggest tool that they use in the box is hatred, okay? Hatred. They make us hate ourselves. Remember this, if you hate yourself, you're not really capable of loving someone else, okay? You can't give real love when you're damaged, when you're hurt, when you're unhealed, and when you hate yourself. You can't even grow off of that foundation, because it's like building a castle on sand, okay? The foundation is weak. And so for us as a people, we have to learn to embrace our differences. We have to learn to embrace our own beauty. We have to learn to embrace each other as brother and sister. We need to stop the jealousy, stop the envy, stop the hatred, you know, stop damaging each other in relationships. It's too much damage. We're damaging each other. And that's the foundation. That is the foundation of all relationships, of every country. The foundation is family. Okay? So that's where we have to start. We have to start with looking at ourselves, you know, and identifying the fact that, look, yeah, we have been damaged. We've had, you know, this intergenerational curse been put upon us, and, you know, intergenerational pain that we've suffered, that is even in our DNA from our ancestors, that has been passed on to us, and we need to heal. But that's where it starts. Once we as black people start to love each other, that's why they were so scared of the Black Power movement. They were so scared of the Black Power movement. And the reason why is because we started to love our hair, love our looks. We started to unify. We started to do things in our community. We started to educate ourselves. We started to create our own income. We did our own enterprise. You know, why would they want to burn down Tulsa, Oklahoma and all these other places unless there was something against black unity that was a threat to them? So that's what we have to do. You know, if we know that is their Achilles heel, we hit it first. And this is about love. This is a love vibration. This is not about, you know, someone said to me the other day, oh, it's all about, you just want to, you know, stop people from being harmonious together and living together. We're now, you know, all the same. And I said, we're not. We are not. We are not. We weren't born the same. We don't look the same. We certainly don't operate the same. Tell me one African nation that has enslaved people for 400 years, enslaved in Europeans for 400 years, and done what they did to us. Okay, I rest my case. So the fact of the matter is this. Africa is now an option. Okay, that's what I want to tell you. This is my news. Okay, Africa is now an option. I want you to consider Africa as an option. Okay, a place to go to and a place to live, a place to invest in, a place to be happy, a place to be free, a place for you and a place for me. I want you to make Africa an option for those around you also by sharing the good news about Africa. Let's start changing the narrative that they put in our heads and our minds. Only we can unbrainwash ourselves. Only we can do that. Like I said to you, you know, there was myself, my mom and my daughter, all in different parts of Africa, okay, at the same time. And I'm telling you, go back years ago, that would never even have been an option because of our mindsets. But it is now. So things are changing. Things are changing. Come and build your dream home. Come and live. Come and be free. Come and enjoy. Okay? Come and feel safer. Bob Marley gave the template, and none of ourselves can free our minds. Well, we have to free our own minds, okay? If we always rely on someone to us, if we're always going to rely on someone to tell us what to do, how are we ever going to determine our own futures? You know, a fractured family is a broken family. So, you know, even if your family's broken, doesn't mean it can't be fixed, okay? You just have to heal. And that's something that we have to do. You know, we spend a lot of time hurting each other, but we don't spend a lot of time healing each other. Do you know how many people hurt you and they can't apologize? They can't say sorry. They do the most heinous things. You are good to these people. You help them when they need you the most. You're there for them. You care for them. You share what you have with them. And then they just hurt you and don't even apologize. In fact, they go behind your back and defame you and try to destroy you after you're the one that helped them and picked them off the ground when you know, they were having a problem. And they can't come back and be accountable. We need to be accountable. We need to be respectful. And we have to be respectful to each other because respect is a part of love. So, you know, you've got to come back and apologize and do the right thing. Have the courage, be a man or a woman and do the right thing. Don't add, you know, fuel to the flame. You have to do the right thing, and that's what we need to do. A lot of us, you know, are damaged because for one thing or another, we couldn't come back and just say, you know what, I did you wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to be accountable for what I've done, and will you forgive me? Yeah, we have to find forgiveness in ourselves before we can find forgiveness outside. You know, with this woman and what happened to her son, and she said she ain't forgiving no one. I was so, you know, pleased to hear what she said because, you know, there is a time for forgiveness, but forgiveness has to come from within ourselves to give anyone outside of our own race. We have to forgive ourselves first. Okay? We have to forgive ourselves first. And, you know, African nations need to call for reparations. All African nations need to call for reparations, as well as the Caribbean. We need to do it as a unified body. We need to come together and do it together. Yeah? Before we start saying, oh, you know, this African nation did this or this African nation did that, let's get the compensation so we can heal each other. During the healing process, we can all atone and apologize then. But let's you know, work as a united front and get the funds first. You know, it's like I said, and I've said it time and time again. Yeah? The only way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and come live with your own kind. The only way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and come and live with your own kind. I'm not going to say it again. Well, I am going to say it again because it's my own quote and I wrote it. But yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it again. You like it myself, I'm not going to tell you again, right? But what I mean is that, you know, let's keep saying it because it's true. You know, it's true. Do you know what? I was on Instagram. There's an interesting story behind this. They want to take your place, backstabber. It's so true. It's so true. I tell you what. You know, just as a passing comment before I stop tonight's live. Is to tell you that your ancestors love you dearly. Okay? Your ancestors love you dearly, and they want you to engage with them, okay? To remember them. Your ancestors pour a little water libation just to say thank you for being there. For many of our ancestors suffered so that we could be here today, and we must absolutely acknowledge them, okay? And we must break those intergenerational curses that many of our, again, and I think only 3 people liked it. What are we afraid of? Are we so brainwashed that we believe in what they tell us, that if we start to free our ancestors, they're going to talk about our lineage? They are our family. And we should not be afraid of each other. How many of our ancestors have passed, suffered? And it's not going to be in vain. So I rise up our ancestors. I will call upon our ancestors. I will call upon all of you divine beings, divine feminine and divine masculine. I am going to call upon you divine beings to take up this mantra and be a warrior for Africa. I'm asking you all, take up your power and be a warrior for Africa. This is the only way we're going to do it. And we are running out of time. Okay? We are running out of time. I will publish that speech so you can see it on the community page. I'm going to tell you, we need to love, we need to heal, we need to get together. But, you know, there are lessons that we can learn from our ancestors, and we do need to learn those lessons. But mainly, we need to free them. Yeah? Intergenerational curse breaking is something that we have to do, because on an energetic and a spiritual level, they have bound our ancestors, and we need to free them. This is something which is a download which I keep getting constantly. Free us to help you. Free us to help you. I did my intergenerational curse breaking. I did my mantras, you know. I did my prayers, you know. And I believe there's a way forward for us. And I believe that way forward is Africa. Yeah, I believe, you know, completing that. So exactly, stop bleaching our skin. That's important. Don't know why people do it. But, you know, Bland Benny, how are you? Okay, say my name, say my name. Bland Benny, Bland Benny, Bland Benny, Bland Benny. Okay, I said your name. Okay, Kufe, Ife, yeah, you're a warrior empress for sure. Absolutely. Let's all be warriors, okay? Be a high priest, high priestess, okay? Be an empress, be an emperor. Let's take our mighty crowns and deal with this situation and take up your warrior sword, okay? And fight for our freedom. Fight for our right to return. Fight for us to be released, yeah? To be released from their grips, okay? So I'm going to love you and leave you. As you know, this is love vibration, so I send you all love. And I want to say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, okay? Open up your heart. Become vulnerable to love, because love is like a cure. They want us to hate each other. Let's not hate each other. Let's love each other. If we can do that, we're on our way. We're one step ahead, okay? So I hope you live. I know the topic was supposed to be about the options, and as per usual, I love to read your comments and go a little bit off topic, but make Africa your option, your number one option. Africa is now an option. Okay, it is now a holiday destination option. It is an option to go live. It never used to be, but it is now. Okay, it's in Forbes, it's in so many magazines, it's in the Times, it's in their white publications, it's also in our black publications, so it's confirmed. Africa is now an option, go-to place to be. So let's go there and be there, okay? Let's go there and be there. Global nomad. The day we stop seeing skin bleaching products in the markets across Africa is the day when something has changed. Okay, so global nomad, just before I go, I'm going to address this. I was just about to hang up, but you know what? I think it's time to talk about this. I have spoken about it before, but not recently. Now, if you don't love yourself and your image, and the image that you're constantly being sold all the time is something that your image is not attractive as a you know, deep, beautiful, ebony woman, and all they want to show you is that people that are successful are lighter, and people that the epitome of beauty is someone that's lighter, and everybody that's successful is lighter, and they sell you this fake, you know, success story based on your skin color being more favorable. It's because colorism is so deeply seated into our self-hate. That's why I say self-love, embracing yourself and loving yourself for who you are and what you look like is so important. None of us could ask or choose what we look like before we came here, okay? So that's why you have to embrace who you are and love who you are. And the one thing that we can do to change that is by positively showing the black image as the ultimate sign of beauty. Also showing ourselves as exalted beings, as divine beings. Why is it every other race see themselves as superior over us? Let's see ourselves as divine beings. Let's see our image as divine. Once we can link into our divinity and the love of ourselves, we won't need this. But at the end of the day, these companies are going to keep pushing these products because it's about making money. For they can break your mind to make money, they will. It's not just bleaching products, they're stripping off their skins in baths and doing all kinds of mad things in acid and killing themselves and getting cancer and things. People are going to the utmost, and what for? It's because they don't believe that they're beautiful just as they are. Part of that is our job as mothers and our job as fathers, and also men. If men are running after white women all of the time, right? You know, black women are going to think that they're not attractive, so they're going to try and look like the white woman they're after. And the same thing with black women. If beautiful black women are just going after white men and ignoring their black beautiful princes, you understand? Black men are going to start getting getting insecure and having a complex as well, and then start to look like a white man in order to gain the attraction. Men, you know, run after, you know, I had a friend once and he just was like an opportunist. You know, I've known him for a very long time and he's quite a funny man, but he was just an opportunist. You know, he would just chase women for what they had, what he could get. It was just like, that was his job, you know, and he just was such a weak individual, such a pathetic individual, and he missed out. Like, you know, people, like, there was one woman that she was so lovely, so beautiful, so warm, you know, she would have been the person that would have built his career, built his life, built his love, healed his heart and given him everything. And he ran after a Jezebel streetwalker, you know, because she had to have money, but she tricked for nothing. But what did he get? He got HIT as his gold. We have to look inside our heart, look inside ourselves and do the right thing. We got to stop following their nasty, dirty ways and start to follow self-love. Okay? Start by self-love, self-care. Yeah, and then we can spread it out to other people. And that's why I say to women, don't forget, and I say to our brothers, don't forget, you know, by any means. I'm not telling you that. But what I am saying to you is that we must look after ourselves. And we also look after, okay? And sometimes, when need be, put ourselves first. Okay? Because you can't look after anyone else unless you can look after yourself first. Okay? So, yeah, the skin bleaching issue is a harsh issue for me. And when I see it in Africa, don't think it doesn't hurt me. And I do speak to people about it and ask them why are they doing it, why are they doing it, why are they doing it? And it's because they don't see their own self-worth. They don't see their own self-beauty. They don't have their own self-love. They don't like what they look like or the reflection. And the reason why is because the media, the music industry, the beauty industry, the fashion industry, and you know, the media in general, okay, glamorizes European beauty standards. But we are the most beautiful people on the earth, okay? We are. And the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So don't go bleaching anything out your skin. Take that cream and put it in the bin. Anyone that's using a cream and think that's going to make you look better, it's not just going to destroy your skin. So please throw it away and learn to embrace your blackness. And remember that the more melanin you have, the more blessed you are, okay? You're a divine being. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, okay? And just say, you know, don't sleep on Africa, as Queen Ife said, okay? It's high time for us to come home. Tony Brooks was timed out. Okay, thank you, Benny Manfra, for doing that. And thank you for the moderating. Thank you, my brother Seth. Yeah, happy belated birthday to you. More happy returns. Okay, onwards and upwards for you. Thank you for always supporting BlaXit. Thank you to the directors of BlaXit, and of course, healing, loving energy to KD. We want you to get stronger and get better, you know, as time goes by. So we haven't forgotten you. We do care and love you very much. Okay, so there you have it. BlaXit is all about that love vibration. We want you to keep loving your nation and come back and be your African sensation. And so I'll see you next week.